Good morning, Shef Avroch V'Atzluch Hashem Mishpatim Shekudshim V'Atorim. Parashat Vayigach. And here, Joseph reveals himself to his brothers, and they're in a total shock. And we can understand it after what they've done. And here they see all the dreams came true. He is ruling on them. They are bowing to him. He is the second in command in Egypt, the ancient kingdom, that the wisdom of this kingdom till today is being investigated. Anyway, we see in the parasha so many signs that stand in front of the brothers, and still they don't see Yosef. It has to come to a point that it says, Ani Yosef, Aod Avichai, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? And this is, let's say, maybe the sentence of the hardest rebuke in the Bible at all. It says, Ani Yosef, you tell me now, Yudah, he is approaching him, says, Vayigach Yudah, he's approaching him and telling him, you know, you told us this, we told you this, you are blaming us for being spies, but what's the connection? You asked for our family, and we told you, and you said there is a son, there is another one, and a father, and you told, and you know, if we're not going to bring back our son, our brother Binyamin, this going to, it can kill our father. So then Yosef is telling them, I'm Joseph. Is my father still alive? When you wanted to kill me and you sold me, didn't you think about this? And this is, by the way, the rebuke that we're going to hear when we are going to come up to heaven, and we are going to see a film. We're going to see exactly what we've done, and even better, you know, the idea is very simple. In order to judge right judgment, God is going to put in front of us a story that really relates to what we have done. The same story with David HaMelech and the prophet that came to him in about Bathsheba and told him the story about there is this rich guy, and there had a neighbor, a very poor guy, and he had only one sheep, and he loved her like a daughter, and the rich guy of guest came to him, and what has he done? Instead of taking from his cattle that he had a lot, he was a rich guy, he went and took the sheep from one sheep he had from his poor neighbor, and gave it to his guest. And when David HaMelech says, "What ben mavita Yeshau?" This is a death sentence, and the prophet telling him, "That's exactly what you have done with Bathsheba." But we're not going to go into this. We want to see and understand the power of Joseph. How could Joseph go through all what is gone? And nevertheless, he's still looking for his brothers, he's loving them, he wants to make peace with them, and he's making tremendous efforts in order to show them that he loves them. Because after they got in a shock to understand that this is Joseph standing in front of them, they didn't know what to do. And they couldn't believe that Joseph is not going to take revenge now. And first of all, let's see, there's a very interesting story that I always tell that is showing us the power of Joseph. This guy is coming to a restaurant in New York. I don't remember who said it, but it's not my story. Anyway, he's coming to this restaurant in New York, very famous restaurant, very exclusive restaurant, and the smells and everything, and he is prepared to have a beautiful lunch. Unfortunately, nearby he sees a table near him sits a Jew, and he hates Jew, this guy. How he doesn't know what to do. What, is he going to get up and hit the Jew? No, this is not an intelligent thing to do, especially not in a high-class restaurant like this. So what should he do? So he got an idea. He calls the waiter and says, "Please, I am paying a bottle of wine to each table." He says, "You've got 35 tables. It's a fortune. It's $100 a bottle of wine, whatever." He says, "No, not 35, 34. This guy here, you don't give him." The Jew guy. As, "You sure?" He says, "Yes." So he's giving wine to all the guests, and he sees the Jew. Not enough, he's not being upset. He's smiling. It got him. Smiling. He called the waiter. "Main course, how much is a main course?" He says, "A good main, $150 a good main course. This is exclusive restaurant. Everybody except this guy, a main course on my account. I pay for it." He says, "You crazy? It's a lot of money. It's a fortune." "I don't care. Just do it. He's doing it. Now he's looking at this Jew and says, now he's going to be upset. Everybody's getting a main course, and they had wine, and he's not getting anything. But he is smiling now, even it's a bigger smile. He calls the waiter again, and he tells him, you know what? Okay, dessert. You give dessert to everybody except him. He says, dessert is also a fortune. It's not a lot of money. Whoa. How much? He says, $50 a dessert. My account, I'm good for it. He's showing this card, this credit card, which is only the rich guy have. So everybody's enjoying a dessert. And now it's going to get to him. He looks at the Jewish guy and he is smiling. He couldn't take it anymore. So he went to him and says, tell me, I gave wine to everybody except you. You were not upset, you're smiling. I gave main course to everybody except you. And you're smiling even more. Now I gave dessert to everybody and you're smiling. He says, what's going on with you? Are you crazy? He says, no, I own the restaurant. And that's the story of Joseph. Joseph, he is in the pit, he's in jail, he's going through unbelievable things, but he knows this is what God promised me. This is all mine. This is all to put me in the right place, in the best place that can be. So it doesn't matter where he is, because he knows he's got this property. This is going to rule and control. And this is the way that every Jewish guy has to look in this world. To understand we are the kings. Everything is ours if we go in the way of God. And we have to understand God created the world for us, for the human being, and especially for the Jewish nation, that they are the leaders of the world. Of course, at the end of days, we all going to be together, believing in one God. But we are the messengers. It's our job to do it. And you have to understand, with all the difficulties that we're going through, and especially the difficulties that we have right now, with all what's going all around the world and in our lovely country, all those missiles and the terrorists and the unbelievable all over the world problems. But we have to keep on smiling and understanding that at the end of the day, it's all for us, for the best. We all own this world. This world is ours. And if we go in the way of God, God gave this to us, and we are in control. So even if they're enjoying and doing whatever, don't forget, they're going to pay for it, and we are going to get the payment. We are going to get the reward. They are going to be punished. They are going to pay for all the trouble they did to the Am Yisrael. And we are going to take it all. We are going to get all those rewards because we went in the way of God. This is in one way to explain the power of Joseph understanding where it leads. And now we want to understand what's going on between him and the brothers. He understands he has to make them believe and understand that he means love. Because you think about it. They wanted to kill him. They sold him. He went through who knows what. And the brothers, they're sure that he's going to take revenge now. Now it's his opportunity. He is the king. He rules everything. But he says, no, I am Joseph that loves you. As we saw a few weeks ago, when he's looking for them, he says, I'm looking for my brothers. He knows they hate them, but he's still looking for them. This is the way we have to look at things. But again, connect to the story what we said. How did he convince them that he means only the best? So he's telling them, you have to understand, look, do you think you did anything? No. Hashem shlachani. God sent me here, not you. You were just tools in the hands of God, because I had to get there and look what's coming out of it. I am the ruler. I am now going to support you for all the feminine years, for all the trouble. You're going to come here and I'm going to support you and give you all the best of the land. And it is only because you sold me. This is the story with this king. He had a big diamond, one of the biggest in the world, maybe the biggest, really big, huge diamond. And one day something happened and it got a scratch. I don't know how. So he tried to fix it. He called all the diamond people all over the country. Nobody could fix it. Says, that's it. The best thing we can do is, like, if we touch this scratch and we want to fix it, we're going to break the diamond, and instead of having one big diamond, we'll have a few small diamonds, and of course, it's not going to worth. It's not going to be even close to what it's worth today. They didn't know what to do, so he put a sign, says, if somebody can come and help me with this, I would appreciate it, and he was going to get rewarded unbelievably. Comes this guy and looks at the diamond and says, my dear king, not enough I'm going to save the diamond, I'm going to make it even much more expensive. He says, are you stupid or something? How can you do a thing like this? This is not normal. Impossible to do this. So I says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You see the scratch? I'm going to scratch it even more. He says, what? You crazy or something? No. I'm going to scratch it in a way it's going to look like a crown and your initials on this diamond. So now you will have a diamond, the biggest diamond in the world, plus with your signature on it and the crown. Wow, this is going to cost million, unbelievably. This is exactly what Joseph is telling to his brothers. You think you damaged me. You damaged the diamond. Yeah, no, you didn't. What you did, the scratch that you did is now developed to a crown. And this is exactly the point. This is the story of Joseph. This is the story of Am Israel. This is a story that we have to follow and understand. Joseph is called Yosef HaTzadik. He's got unbelievable power. This is one of the puzzles that he is not the Melech HaMashiach. There are going to be two, Melech ben Yosef, Mashiach ben Yosef, and Mashiach ben David. But how is it that Judah is the one who is being chosen to be the Mashiach, the king, and not Joseph? So I'm not going to go into it, but I'm going to say it very briefly. Joseph is a guy that he can take us out of the diaspora. He's going to get us out of the galut. He's going to lead the way till we will get to Eretz Israel. But here, in the normal daily life, he is too high for us. He's too tzaddik, if you understand what I mean. You cannot relate to him. But Judah makes mistakes, but he fixed them. And he admits the mistake, like the story I had with Tamar, that he went with her and she came, she was already starting to get burned, and he's telling, this belongs to the guy, and he could shut up and do nothing. He says, this belongs to the guy that I was with, and he is admitting it in front of everybody. I did it, I am the one. And he is the one that also approaches Joseph in the beginning of the parsha after he sees what's happening. Vayigach Yehuda. Yehuda is the one who's done. And Yehuda is Ata yoducha achecha. He always is the one who is in charge. He's not the oldest. He's not the Bechor. He has three before him. Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. But he is the one who is chosen to lead. Why? Because he has the power to admit the mistakes he has done. And I wish that all the people that are surrounding in Israel, all those leaders and the former leaders and those big shots, that they will have the power to admit their mistakes. But Judah is not only admitting the mistakes, he's fixing it. And this is his virtue. This is why he was chosen to be king. We can relate to him. We can see a human being. He makes mistakes, but he fixed the mistake. This is the power of Judah. And we see all the people around him are being influenced by him. And by the way, Yehuda, the name, is built from the letters of God. Yud K Vav K, and in the middle Dalet. Dalet is Dala, poor. Says like from humbleness, you look at the things and you get connected to God. And so we have here the two figures, Judah and Yosef. And the main figure in our parsha is Yosef, of course. He's doing this unbelievable thing. After all he went through, he is seeking for the love of the brothers. After all they did to him. And this is a big lesson for us. Yes, we have among us people, they do the wrong in the eyes of God. They do the wrong for Am Israel. But we have to try and get to them and bring them closer to us, to seek for the brothers and try not to lose them. Yes, there are some that we cannot do anything about it, but we can try, and for the rest, to save them, to show them that with all what they did, we still love them. We still want to be together. And remember that even if it looks terrible, it's in our power. We are the one that God created the world for us, for Am Israel, to keep the Torah and lead the way for all the nations. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if we stick together and do whatever we can, like Joseph did, in order to be together and stick together, the scratches we have will become a big crown of the Geula Shlema B'mehera B'yameinu. Amen.